Hi, my name is Bradley Sumrall, and I'm curator of the collection at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art in New Orleans. And I'm so honored to be invited today to say a few words about John Scott and his work at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art and his history with the museum. I guess the first time I saw the work of John Scott was really in about 2003, and I encountered Spirit House in Desay Circle and was totally fascinated. It was a collaboration between John and Martin Payton, another artist from our collection. And it led me to seek out other public works. It also led me to Arthur Roger Gallery, where I discovered his drawings. And his drawings are some of the most underappreciated works on paper in Southern art, I believe. They're just phenomenal, and I'm obsessed with them. But then I didn't really get an education on the importance of John Scott and his legacy to his work and his legacy to New Orleans art and Southern art and American art until 2007, when I began working at the Ogden. And that education came through David Houston, former curator at the Ogden. And one of my first installations that I ever worked on at the Ogden was the installation of the Third World Banquet Table, powerful sculpture that we installed at the Ogden Museum in the atrium around 2008, I believe. And that led me to explore the 5 works in the permanent collection, which are all 5 just masterful, and share those pieces with you today. Dancing to Soundless Music number 2. This work is currently installed in the atrium of the Ogden Museum. And from what I understand, Dancing to Soundless Music number 1 is in the British Museum's permanent collection. And I'm trying to get an image of that because I've never seen it. But this was part of the founding donation in 2003 that started the Ogden Museum. The work is from 1994 and is a gift of the Roger H. Ogden collection. The next piece is one of 3 from the Ritual Cutter series. This one's called Butterfly Pinup, 1978. It's polychromed, bent wood sculpture, just very elegant, as are the other pieces in this collection. Ritual Cutter number 1, and then Ritual Cutter number 2. These 3 works are currently installed in an exhibition on 5th floor, which I'll show you in a moment. But the final piece in the Ogden's collection is this piece called Flags. It's a piece from the Diddley Bow series, kinetic sculpture. It's from around 1997, stainless steel paint and wire. And it's a gift of the Michael Brown and Linda Green collection. With this piece, you really see the influence of George Rickey. It's very dynamic. It moves. The flags can go at different rhythms. It's very, very beautiful piece. Here you see the 3 ritual cutters installed in the exhibition on the 5th floor called What Music Is Within. And you can see these works in conversation with other artists. John Scott's in conversation with Ron Bechet, Kevin Cole, Eugene Martin, Clifton Webb, and the great Robert Reed. Also included in this exhibition is Martin Payton, Mapo Kennord, John Barnes, Horton Humble, Jeffrey Cook, Minnie Evans, Sam Gilliam, Merton Simpson, Arlington Withers, and Moses Hogan. Also in 2017, during Prospect 4, the Ogden was host to Blues Poem for an Urban Landscape. It was 9 powerful woodblock prints and 1 wood block, actually, that was part of Prospect. And this was an exhibition that I fought hard to make sure the Ogden was host for, because John Scott is so important to our mission, and these are such powerful pieces that we had never shown before. So I was very pleased that we got to be the venue for these works. Also in 2017, on September 30th, the Ogden Museum of Southern Art opened an exhibition called Solidary and Solitary, the Joyner Gefrida collection. And this exhibition showcased some of the strongest voices, strongest Black voices in art from the 1940s to the present. In conjunction with this exhibition, we installed 4 pieces of John Scott, the 4 sculptures in the atrium of the Ogden Museum. And that allowed Mr. Scott to have a dialogue with artists like Mark Bradford, Norman Lewis, Leonardo Drew, Melvin Edwards, Shanique Smith, Sam Gilliam, and others. And as a result of that dialogue, both the Joyner Gafrida collection and the Baltimore Museum of Art added major works by Mr. Scott to their collections. And that conversation continues today with his inclusion in What Music Is Within, that runs in conjunction with Melvin Edwards Crossroads on the 5th floor of the Ogden. Having worked as a curator in Southern art for over a decade now, the importance of Mr. Scott's work and legacy as an educator becomes more apparent every passing year. He had a huge impact on generations of student artists over his 40-year career. And it seems like every year I'm meeting a new artist that will talk about what an impact Mr. Scott had on his work, even down to the daughters of James Searles wax poetic about spending time with the Scott family and the impact he had on them personally. And currently we have work up by students, Jeffrey Cook, as well as Elizabeth Shannon, who studied under Mr. Scott early in his career at Xavier University. And also his influence as a friend, co-conspirator, or mentor is obvious in the works of Ron Daché, Martin Payton, Benny Andrews, Mapo Kennord, and Ida Kohlmeyer, and so many other artists that are important to the Ogden's mission. I guess finally, it's really amazing to see Mr. Scott's son, Io, develop into a strong voice in the contemporary art scene of New Orleans. And I look forward to the day that Io's work can come into the collection and be exhibited alongside that of his father's. So on this day, when so many friends, admirers, and students of Mr. Scott gather to celebrate the man and his work, allow me to humbly add my voice to that celebration. And on behalf of the Ogden Museum of Art, I'm honored to play a small part in sharing the important work of John T. Scott with the world. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. And I hope you have a great celebration of his work this weekend.